Hi, and welcome to EDL 850 Modular 1 School Law. My name is Mercedes, and I go by Sadie Kamek. Some general demographics about myself. I currently live in Douglas, Kansas with my husband, Travis, and our two children, John Wayne and Clara. We have 7 horses, 6 dogs, 2 cats, many barn cats, chickens, and ducks. We enjoy rodeoing as a family, recreational sports. I sell antiques, and I run a large sale here in Douglas called the Vintage Villa Barn Sale. And we currently bought a 1947 diner that we are restoring, and I teach 4th grade. Teaching background, this is my 13th year of teaching. I have taught 5th grade, 4th grade, I taught art, and now I'm back to teaching 4th grade here in Douglas. Article review. The 3 levels of government. The first level that we researched was the federal level. It is continuously evolving, especially within the past 15 years. Within the federal government, they are responsible for 4 functions regarding public education. The policies related to educating funding. These policies can promote education reform through the addition of funding to states and districts. They are in charge of collection of data and research. When they get the data and research, they create new policies and closing gaps to improve the quality of education. The third function is identification of problems in education at the national level. These problems, the federal government encourages states to take action as quickly as possible to resolve those said problems. And the enforcement of discrimination laws, regardless of gender, disability, location, or income levels. The federal government must make sure all children receive quality education. At the state level, is the most educational policy is decided at the state level. Governance is determined through a multi-level model to determine where funding will be allocated with the following: the governor, state legislature, school board, and the State Department of Education. At the local level, local school boards are usually members of the community. They usually volunteer their time. They are responsible for their school district. They are responsible for deciding how to hire teachers. They are usually the ones who adopt the curriculum and decide upon the school budget and resources and where they should be allocated. They are members who govern and manage a public school and are elected or appointed by representatives. School board members are involved in policy making. They work closely with community members to ensure that what the community is asking for, they kind of follow along with. And they serve as the most effective method of oversight for school districts. How does the federal government manage public schools, and what are their duties and responsibilities? The federal government uses funding to shape what, how, and where students learn. Because of the 10th Amendment, federal role in education is limited within the United States, and most educational policies are decided by state and local levels. Federal government may adopt new laws, regulations, and related compliance rules and requirements that will influence the amount of control the local government will have over the operation of public schools. Federal government is responsible for prohibiting discrimination in the workplace and schools, and the federal government manages schools, promoting student achievement, preparing students for global competitiveness with every student in mind. How does state government manage schools, and what are their duties and responsibilities? Based on data and research, depending on strengths and weaknesses, states can create new policies to close gaps and improve education where they see fit. They determine how much of the budget will go toward education funding. They set state standards for assessment through the use of standards and curriculum. They oversee services for students with disabilities. They are licensing all private and public schools in the state, and they elect local and state school board members. How does local government manage schools, and what are their duties and responsibilities? Local school boards are responsible for overseeing a specific school district and their policies. They are in charge of adopting the school budget and allocating the resources necessary. They are in charge of employing district superintendents. They are in charge of adopting a district curriculum. They are in charge of accepting bargaining agreements. And they are finally in charge of deciding upon policies that will help with the hiring process within the district. The Douglas School Board duties and responsibilities. The description of the board here in Douglas is the Douglas School Board of USD 396 is a group of volunteers appointed and elected by local community members. How does the board promote the current and future success and well-being of each student? The Douglas School Board has created a mission statement that includes a vision and goals that will assist in the promotion of future success and well-being of students. The mission statement states that teachers will do their best in teaching in accordance with state and federal law, while also keeping local beliefs and values in mind. The board, how do they manage the school district? The board manages the school district by discussing fiscal and business matters, along with personal and public relations that may occur throughout the year. And my screen cut off my citation, so it will be listed on my citation page, but it did cut it off. Douglas School Board duties and responsibilities continued. How does the school board evaluate technology? The Douglas School Board enforces a plan developed by the superintendent, which implements the Children's Internet Protection Acts. It is encouraged by the board that teachers use a district email and other district resources while promoting student learning. If students or teachers show misconduct with technology, disciplinary action will be taken. How does the school board utilize operation systems? The board is responsible for deciding upon which operating system are utilized within all buildings in the district. And how do they evaluate data-informed and equitable school resource plans that support school improvement and student development? With data from KESA, along with the panorama information that we obtain here in Douglas, the board assists in deciding plans for future learning and curriculum. We also have a leadership team that assists in most of these procedures, but ultimately the board has the final say. How does the board implement laws, rights, policies, and regulations to promote student and adult success and well-being? The board, along with superintendent, teachers, and staff, implement the laws, rights, policies, and regulations in order to promote student and adult well-being and success. My own personal experience with the 3 management branches. In regards to federal, recently we all had to deal with ESSER money. In my previous job, I was the art teacher, so that applied to me a little bit more so, as the art program was not necessarily as important, and some ESSER money was used. No Child Left Behind, we all have, not all, sorry, there are most of us that have seen the No Child Left Behind, which was a federal decision, and funding. Not necessarily personally, but where money is allocated from the federal level. It affects me when I'm working in a smaller district. Our numbers in students can affect federal funding. At the state level, teaching daily, I am affected by the state level of government. We are asked to teach the curriculum that is designed for our students in order to meet the state standards that are selected and presented to us as teachers. And locally, the Douglas School Board is my personal experience in regards to local government. We're encouraged to attend monthly meetings, and we are sent agendas and notes over what will and has been discussed. When the board makes a change or suggests a change, we're encouraged to follow the suggestions. I'm also on the leadership team, which deals a lot with the local community and local school board members. Correlation, the standard, PLO Standard 6, Operations and Management. This submission demonstrated my understanding of PLO 6, Operations and Management, because I was able to really learn what the different branches of government were in charge of within schools and districts. I learned about the history of the government levels and saw how the changes over time have affected the control from the federal level. The order of priority for me, I would start with operation systems to develop and improve data-informed and equitable school resource plans and to apply laws, policies, and regulations. I feel that without plans, data, laws, and policies, schools wouldn't continue to prepare students and they wouldn't know the route to take to improve the schools. Without laws, policies, and regulations, the school isn't being run properly. Secondly, I would choose management. You must be able to manage and run the school successfully, or all the policies and regulations don't even make sense. Communication. I think that you need to have strong communication skills in order to communicate the plan that you have created and make sure everyone is understanding and knows what is expected. And technology, finally, you need to be able to utilize the technology correctly and efficiently. But I also think that things could be done without technology. It just assists and helps a little bit. Relevant. This assignment has been relevant to my current learning because it is important to know what branches of government are in control of, they are in control of within a school. I believe that in order to be an effective principal, I need to know who and what level of government is in charge and what they can and cannot do in a school district. As a result, I believe that knowing this information will assist me later in my career. This assignment improved my understanding of the 3 levels of government because I truly wasn't aware of all the different levels and exactly what they were responsible for. I knew there were 3 levels and I knew that they had responsibilities, but this assignment really opened my eyes to exactly what they could and could not do. This was a very relevant assignment for me for future and current learning. And reflection. This assignment will influence the way I teach and learn because I am now more aware of who decides what and how I am teaching in my classroom. I am aware of the different levels of government and what they are in charge of when I am teaching daily. This assignment will influence the decisions I will make as a future school leader because I will know what has to be followed and why. I will also know what mandates need to be followed, and I will know from which level of government those mandates are coming from. Knowing this information will assist me in being a principal and help to lead a school of teachers, along with making sure all students are being given the best education possible. And I have 3 pages for my citations as they didn't all fit, and it appears that they were cut off a little bit. So I'll add my link to my actual slide so that it can be seen. Okay, thank you so much.